CBS Sports presents NBA Basketball. America's NBA is brought to you by Renault and Jeep, official vehicles of the NBA. And by Miller Lite. For great taste, there is only one light beer.
Along with Bill Russell, this is Bob Neal, live from Chicago Stadium, where tonight the world champion Boston Celtics are in town to play the Chicago Bulls. The Celtics lost in Washington last night. The Bulls lost at New Jersey. These are two tired basketball teams, but it's crunch time in the NBA. Only about 15 games left in the regular season, and everybody across the league is a little bit banged up, but they Conference situation. First of all, Boston is out in front, but they're looking over their shoulders for the best record in the conference because the Atlanta Hawks are red hot. Now, down in 7th place, you see Chicago is looking up to catch Washington, and over their shoulder, only half a game ahead of Indiana. And these Chicago Bulls tonight, Bill Russell, are going to play minus one of their better defensive players, Gene Banks, and Ben Poquette is going to fill in for him.
Yes, Gene Banks contributed as the best defensive player on the Bulls. Maybe Michael Jordan may differ with that, but he's going to be replaced by Ben Poquette, who's a player who's a tall player, 6'9", fundamentally very sound, and plays within his game. So he's not spectacular, but can be reasonably effective.
And the Boston Celtics are all banged up, too. Dennis Johnson, their point guard, probably best defensive player, has been sent home with a sore right shoulder, and Jerry Sichting will start there. And we didn't know till just before game time as to whether or not Kevin McHale was going to play.
Well, I was talking to Kevin, and they had asked him to go home. And he was going to go home until he found out that Dennis had re-injured himself last night and that he was going home. And Kevin thought that it was too important a game for the two of the stars to go home, so he's going to play hurt.
And the Boston Celtics in Chicago, we talk about him being injured across the league. As I said, it's crunch time. This has got to be a difficult time for NBA players.
Well, it's very difficult because fatigue is your biggest enemy this time of year, and fatigue will cause your body and your mind to betray you. And in a lot of cases, you have these small injuries and you don't have enough time to recover, so you got to play through them, and this is a very difficult thing to do.
Back with the lineups and the tip-off in a moment. Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, and the Celtics and the Bulls. But right now, back to Atlanta, our studios, and Charlie Neal.
Okay, thank you very much, Bob. Coming up at halftime, a look at scores and highlights from this Friday night in the NBA. You know, the Houston Rockets are looking to get Ralph Sampson back in the lineup, maybe as early as next week. I'll have more on that. And a tribute to an outstanding performance by Michael Jordan through the music of Beethoven. All that and more coming up at halftime. And Bob and Bill will have tonight's starting lineups in just a moment.
From Chicago Stadium, the teams have been introduced here, and we're ready to meet the teams for our television audience. First of all, the visiting Boston Celtics, the world champions. The Celtics have lost 5 in a row on the road, the most since the 78-79 year. Bird and McHale at forward. Again, McHale is very much banged up. No specific injury, but he's just been beat around a lot. Parish and Ainge, and Sichting replacing Dennis Johnson. Boston, Casey Jones, the head coach for the Boston Celtics, and the men in green are trying to break that road slump. Now for the Chicago Bulls. Ben Poquette is starting for the injured Gene Banks. Charles Oakley, the power forward, team's leading rebounder. Dave Corzine, the center, out of DePaul University. John Paxson is the point guard, and of course, Michael Jordan, top candidate for MVP, along with Magic Johnson, and I think Kevin McHale, and Doug Collins in his first year as head coach in the NBA. The refs tonight, Dick Bavetta on the left and Bernie Fryer. And we're ready to get underway from Chicago Stadium. It's a sellout, 17,484.
Now, how these two guys that are missing, Dennis Johnson and Gene Banks, will affect the outcome of the game tonight. Dennis Johnson will have a big impact because he runs the offense and sets the tone. Now, I expect, as a result of that, to see Larry Bird with more assists than he normally has, because he's going to have to be play a lot like McRae does for Houston on a lot of situations.
A point forward.
A point forward.
Here's Bird, watching one to open the game and missing. Rebound, Dave Corzine.
Now, I don't think that Poquette, he'll be able to do a good job on Bird outside, but when Bird starts to move, it could create a problem. That's a problem for anybody when Michael Jordan gets airborne.
Jordan with a rare miss. Down to Ainge off the break. Nobody can get it started early, and Michael Jordan with the rebound. Michael leads this team in virtually every statistical category, including the important defensive statistics, too. Everybody missing. There's Michael.
Plus, Michael Jordan may be the best defensive player on the team. He doesn't get credit for it because he does so many other things, but he's an excellent defensive player, especially when he is determined when they need a stop.
And Larry Bird answers. It's tied at 2. Bird 2, Jordan 2.
That'll change.
Bound to change. Here's Corzine with a fake. Pass.
Now, one thing that Michael Jordan does that I think he could improve on, he stays airborne quite a bit, and he's most dangerous when he's airborne, but I'd like to see him pass flat-footed more often.
Bird over Poquette. Just a second straight shot, but he missed it and then got it on the
now
same
that's
bounce.
a scorer's bounce. When you put him up and you get that.
One of the all-time scorers bounce. That thing bounced 5 feet. It even went higher than the top of the backboard. It is Bulls 4, Celtics 4. Poquette and Oakley, the forwards. Corzine, the center. For the
will feel the effects of the guys that are missing on the defense more than the offense. And the reason for that is you have to really coordinate your efforts more effectively on defense than you do on offense.
just inside the three-point line. This game tied at 6. Bird has 4.
I know Poquette's thinking already. Doesn't anybody else shoot? Why, my man, was he trying to do spotlight me?
Ben Poquette from Central Michigan University in his 10th year in the NBA. He's a good, solid player. Limited with skills, but he knows the game.
And a moving pick by Charles Oakley.
Offensive foul, Charles
And
Oakley.
that's not a good foul to get. You'll get enough fouls during the game. You don't have to move the pick because you set the pick, and the man that's being picked for has to run his man into you, or should.
Ainge handling the ball out high to Parish. Sichting, the Purdue veteran who's filling in for the injured Dennis Johnson, in case you're joining us a little late. Gene Banks out for Chicago. Dennis Johnson not playing tonight for Chicago. Stripped away from Jordan. And there's Dave Corzine with a rebound to the basket. It's tied
Look what
at 8.
I found.
Corzine came off the bench the first 41 games of the year. Has been starting, playing pretty well since then. Had 11 rebounds last night in the Boston, New Jersey. Bird again. You could see the look on Poquette's face as he ran by our table. Jordan missing. Corzine. Effective early. Dave Corzine with 6 points already. It's tied at 10.
They were so happy that Jordan didn't score, they forgot to screen out.
Time remaining in the first quarter now at the bottom right-hand side of your screen. 8.5 minutes, and Poquette fouls Bird on that shot. That's one way to make it miss.
And another thing where they'll miss Dennis Johnson. He and Magic Johnson, the best 2 guards in the league for feeding the pivot. And so McHale may suffer a little bit in posting up and getting the ball where he wants to and where he can use it. Dennis Johnson is very important to that team, as you may have ascertained.
Well, last night, Dennis Johnson played hurt. He was 2 for 13 from the field shooting because of that sore right shoulder. And he is important because, as you mentioned to me earlier today, Bill, they can pack it in on the Celtics a little if Dennis Johnson, that point guard, doesn't hit as well. But that's something that Sichting can do. He can shoot outside from the perimeter well. Here's a three-point try for Paxson, and he gets it. Bulls take the lead, 13-12 on the three-pointer. Now into the post, Parish. First time he's touched the ball. Ainge tried to feed to McHale. McHale didn't see it.
Look what I found. And look who found it. Poquette must be saying, I thought I was doing a good job on him. Where'd he go?
Bird is 5 out of 6 shooting. 12 points. Unbelievable. Paxson on the move and hit it. John Paxson's hot tonight. He has 2 from the perimeter.
Now that's what you call
points.
using the pick. He went out the left, out the back, and ended up shooting behind him. Because the defensive man can't afford to go over the top on that situation, because if he does, he'll rush him up and get him maybe a layup.
Both teams shooting well here early. Here's Bird. Finally misses one. Corzine saves it.
He didn't quite save it.
Didn't quite. Stepped out of bounds on the end line. It'll be Boston ball. There's Doug Collins, only 35 years old.
And
Daye
aging.
Corzine, who looks much older.
But Doug is aging about 3 weeks every day.
Ainge. Travel.
Jordan calls that not a good hands defensively.
Ainge and Jordan about the same size. Jordan listed at 6'6", Ainge at 6'5", but when you see them standing beside each other, they're basically the same size.
As long
Michael
as they're
Jordan
standing.
plays
As long as they're standing.
a little higher than Danny on occasion. But Ainge's a tough defensive player. They missed Dennis Johnson on him. The hook shot falls for Charles Oakley. You know, Charles has been a little miffed lately. Said he'd like to see some offensive plays run for him. Talked to Doug Collins about it. We'll see if they run many offensive plays for Oakley tonight. Bird again and scoring again. Larry Bird is lighting it up. He has 14 points.
You think he'll take the heart out of Poquet defensively if this keeps up?
And who do you bring in? Brad Sellers is a 7-footer who can play the forward position. Jordan has it blocked. Celtics run. Or Elston Turner. We'll see what they do with Chicago here. McHale with a feed from Ainge.
Excellent fast
from
break.
Sichting.
Good outlet pass by Robert Parish. I think the Bulls.
Paxson around the pick again. Corzine can certainly set a pick. Foul down on the baseline.
Probably on Robert Parish.
It is on Parish, and we have a timeout on the floor with 6:11 to go in the first quarter. Celtics lead by 1.
Excellent play by Robert Parish. He walks the pick, so it's almost a double pick, and using the defensive man to free Larry Bird. Now he just steps out. Now what makes this play so interesting is simplicity. It's a very simple game, but you do a lot of intricate things that are simple, basically. Now you can complicate it so much that it's not effective.
Celtics lead here by 1, 18-17. Both the teams coming off road games last night. Chicago losing to New Jersey, Boston losing to Washington.
Now, when Oakley was saying that he should get more plays, I have to agree with him. I'll tell you why. Michael Jordan plays a lot of minutes, and he needs rest. And the best way to rest is sometimes be a decoy. And so you're running plays for someone else. And then he'll end up sometimes with an easy shot. See, because he has to work so hard now, he has to get good action by Sichting.
That's an offensive foul on Paxson. Do not count the basket.
See, what you have to play, your offense is so that, especially on offense, so that players can rest. And that's where you rest on offense, because there's no time to rest on defense.
Boston continues to lead by 1. Both teams shooting at nearly 70% right now. Bird over Poquet again. Short this time. Poquet may have gotten a hand on it. The crowd comes alive here every time Michael Jordan touches the ball. That could be why. Doug Collins telling Dick Bavetta that Boston's playing an illegal defense, but Jordan's going to get a three-point opportunity anyway.
And the way he's going, here's a great move by Jordan. Now, he holds, the hang time is so great here. Great move there. Let's see, look at it from another angle, and we can see the hang time. Now, what Doug Collins is going to get is a technical foul, because he keeps doing that. The referee's going to be embarrassed, because the fans going to get on him for not calling illegal defense. And what do you do for that? You get technical. That sits him down.
Bird off the screen. And Larry Bird has 16 points already. By the way, Michael Jordan with 5. It is tied at 20 with 5:26 to go first quarter. Into Oakley from Jordan. Oakley has it hammered away by Robert Parish. Ainge. Celtics by 2.
That's going to be a foul on McHale, I believe.
Away from the ball, holding Oakley. That's a good matchup down there. McHale the bigger of the two in terms of height, but Oakley is a very strong player. And outweighs McHale by about 20 pounds. And that's the second foul, by the way, on McHale.
When you turn pushing underneath, the better pushers are the players that understand leverage more than weight.
Brad Sellers, the youngster from Ohio State, in for Poquet. He'll try to play Bird. Paxson on the drive. Brad Sellers is a 7-footer, but he plays quick forward. He usually is the first man off the bench for the injured Gene Banks anyway. McHale over Corzine that time. Rebound Oakley. Baseball pass to Sellers. Michael Jordan. Sellers with the offensive rebound in the basket. Bulls by 2.
He looked 7 feet then.
Sellers plays about 20 minutes a game. He's been playing well for a youngster coming off the bench for the Bulls. Parish.
Short.
It's a 3-on-2 break. Paxson gets it off the right wing, and the Bulls go up by 4 with 4 minutes to go first quarter. Paxson playing well also. He has 9, and he's the leading scorer at this point for Chicago. Jordan saved it. Paxson's foul. Doug Collins joins the 17,000 fans in cheering the Bulls.
At this point, the Celtics have lost control of the tempo, and that's what they have to maintain. In order for them to be really effective, they have to maintain control of the tempo. Now here's a save by Jordan. And the Bulls push it up right away to the hoop. And there's a foul.
The Bulls have been playing well, but losing more than they want to. They have a 35-35 record. And what I say by that, Doug Collins was telling us, in 3 games decided by 3 points or left, the Bulls have lost 14.
And that's a lot of difference, because you got this great closing player in Michael Jordan, but you can't go to that same guy every game and consistently win.
5-point Bulls lead. Sellers trying to defense Bird with about the same success as Ben Poquette had. And Bird has 18. That's 18. You're right. You got that right, folks. It's in the first quarter, and the Celtics have 24 points. Bird has 18 of them.
Well, I guess he decided he wouldn't have to pass more. He might have to score more than Dennis wasn't there.
Paxson hits an open Corzine. There's Jordan with the offensive board in the basket. Jordan
right in
now
front
with
of
7.
Robert Parish. Robert Parish didn't get up on that one.
What a complete player.
I think he thought he was going to drop to him, but Jordan intercepted it.
A lot of people have virtually given the MVP award as Ainge shoots for long range and hits. An MVP award to Magic Johnson, who's had a great year. But I think 2 other strong candidates are here, Michael Jordan and Kevin McHale.
Both, you're talking 4 that maybe the top 6 MVP candidates are right here on the floor tonight.
Of course, Bird in that category also. He's the 3 in a row for Bird. He said it was time for somebody else to win it anyway. Spin move by Parish and jams it right past Corzine. 31-28 Bulls. Paxson with probably a poorly selected shot, stripped away by Sichting. From the free throw line, he was hit as he shot by Sellers, no whistle. Sichting is not exactly happy with it as he talks to Bernie Fryer about it. Timeout on the floor.
And he's correct that time.
2:18 to go, first quarter. Let's take a look at our TBS efficiency rating for tonight. As you know, it's the positives with the negatives subtracted on a player's overall contribution to his team. Tonight, we're looking at Bird and Jordan as they come into the game. Bird with a 19. That's right near the top of the scale, and Jordan just slightly behind Bird. Jordan's down just a bit because he's missed a few more shots than Larry Bird has.
Now let's take a look at Danny Ainge as he loses there. That's using your that's using your neck to defend the guy.
We wondered how Jordan got such good position. He used his right arm, his strong right arm. Bird down to Parish, defense by Oakley. Over Oakley and over Jordan.
2 minutes.
Rainbow.
31-30 Chicago.
It's been an interesting offensive show tonight. Some really great offensive moves.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Jordan.
That's not his shot, a fadeaway jumper. He's got to be going toward the basket.
Ainge to Sichting. Parish has it stripped away, and they call Jordan for the foul. I thought Jordan had another steal. He's only 2 shy of breaking the Chicago record of steals in a season.
Let's take a look at it, see what his complaint is. Because he's a little upset. Let's see if we can take a look at it. Looked like a pretty good hit.
It looked like it was knocked loose in the middle by possibly Brad Sellers, and then it was collected by Michael Jordan. That's possibly what happened. Sedale Threatt into the ball game now for Chicago, as John Paxson takes a rest. Threatt came here from Philadelphia for Steve Coulter and has played well. Backup point guard.
And Coulter has played well in Philadelphia.
Absolutely. Leading scorer the other night, I saw. With Irving injured and Mo Cheeks injured and such, they've had to call on Wingate and Coulter. They've been performing well. Celtics lead by 1 now. Jordan gets into the paint and scores. That's 11, and he wanted a foul call to that and didn't get it. Jordan and Bernie Fryer are having some words here tonight. The 7-footer trying to defense Bird. Now Threatt doubles. Bird finds the open man as usual. Oh, the Celtics will kill you with the trap down low if Bird has the ball.
Because he uses that skill of being a great passer always to great advantage.
Jordan finds Corzine, who doesn't really want it offensively right now. Shot clock to 10. Jordan has it stripped away by Danny Ainge. Sichting controlling.
He wanted Kite to go on through so that Bird would be free in the corner there.
A rainbow falls short. Rebound Oakley, who's second in the NBA, averaging 13 a game. It's a 1-point Bulls lead with only 20 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Good steal by Robert Parish.
Kite into the ball game for these final seconds for Boston, but Bird scores again and now has 20 first quarter points with 10 seconds to go. Was it important for Gene Banks to be here? Yes. Corzine for 2, just inside the three-point line at the buzzer, and the Celtics lead at the end of 1 in an exciting offensive basketball game, 36-35. Russell with you from Chicago Stadium, where the Celtics have taken a 1-point first quarter lead, 36-35, behind Larry Bird's 20 points. Michael Jordan with 11. Someone was just commenting about he wasn't off to a good start at that radial score 44. I'd call that a pretty good start, wouldn't you? The Celtics, by the way, Bill, have 4 significant players who are not playing tonight and not here. Dennis Johnson, Bill Walton, who has a sore ankle. He came off the injured list. Sam Vincent's on the injured list, and Scott Wedman. I mean, the Celtics are really banged up.
Well, at this time of year, guys like Larry Bird and the young man we see here, Michael Jordan, become so important because they are willing to pay the price of being a star and to play when it's not easy to play. Now, these guys are banged up just like the rest of the guys. They got pulls and bruises and everything, and they're willing to go out and play just as hard no matter how they feel. And this is one of the things that make the stars. These are guys that play no matter what the conditions.
McHale with the rebound off the miss by Sellers. Granville Waiters in for that fellow who I can never think of his name, the good player, Michael Jordan. There's the turnover.
Now, you notice McHale, I don't think, has scored tonight.
That's his first.
Let's take another look at this penetration by Paxson. You're up in the air, moving. There's nothing you can do but wait for the whistle to blow. And when you come down, you go to the box, wait for the rebound for the free throws.
Foul on Greg Kite.
McHale, I don't think, has scored tonight. And that's because he's playing hurt. Because he doesn't have that mobility that he normally has because his feet are hurting. You know, that what makes him effective in the low post. Plus, Dennis Johnson's not there to get the ball to him where he really wants it.
Sedale Threatt. He was fouled as he shot by Connor Henry in the game. Let's reset the lineups for you. There have been several substitutions. Sedale Threatt, Paxson have come into the ball game for Chicago, along with Mike Brown, Granville Waiters, and Brad Sellers. So with the exception of Paxson, everybody a substitute for the Bulls. Kite, Sichting, Connor Henry, Kevin McHale and Larry Bird in there. And Connor Henry, who came here to the Boston Celtics from Houston, is primarily a wingman, a shooter. Wears number 43. Bulls by 1. McHale throws it away. Mike Brown is a load down there, weighs about 260 pounds. Shot clock to 5. Sellers threw up a prayer.
And not answered.
Connor Henry out to Sichting. Granville Waiters with a rebound. Bulls by 1, 10:25 to go, second quarter. Paxson, that's a two-pointer just inside the line. Paxson has 12. Bird had 20 first quarter points. Hasn't scored 2 minutes here in the second quarter. Probably is about to. It's Sichting. To Greg Kite from Larry Bird.
When you're a threat like that, you pick up a lot of tension when you go down the middle.
The Bulls by 1. Brad Sellers finally connects. He's a good perimeter shooter, but at 7 feet, they don't really want him out there all the time, of course.
Carter Henry just missed Kevin McHale.
Kevin's now scored with his own rebound and tip in.
And those are plays that, because Carter Henry normally wouldn't be there, that McHale would pick up his part of his 26-point-a-game average. Got to be a foul on Sellers.
Following his own shot. By the way, that was Boston's first offensive rebound as we look at McHale again.
Look at McHale here. Didn't get screened out, fouled it, tip was out on the ball. He has great concentration in there. But you have to have, if you're going to play the pivot the way he and the guys like Moses Malone and Akeem Olajuwon, these guys play a similar style, I think.
Connor Henry gets it to Kite, back out to Bird. Shot clock down to 6. Kite misses, and they say Mike Brown fouled him. It looked more like an offensive foul, but they call it on Mike Brown.
I think you'll see that Mike Brown may have been a little late getting over there. There's a pass. You see, Mike Brown was late getting there. See, you have to establish that before the guy leaves his feet. You can't wait till he leaves his feet and then establish it. Looks like almost an air ball.
If you wonder if it's unusual for Greg Kite to miss a free throw, it's no. Look at his percentage, 38%.
Well, he's made 38.
Hey, he gets
39.
one.
Well, percentage anyway.
Greg Kite from Brigham Young University. It's tied at 41. Paxson breaks the tie. Jordan on the bench. He plays about 43 minutes a game. He won't be there long.
And then this time of year, he might need a little rest because he spent a lot of his time in the air.
Celtics need help from the bench tonight, and they don't have a lot of strength down there. McHale gets the loose ball, the basket, and the foul.
A loose ball pass that Bird made was a little outstanding.
Granville Waiters with the personal.
Let's take a look at that pass and see if we can see where it's kicked loose here.
Corzine.
That was a good pass. McHale's got great hands and concentration to come up with it, though.
How about the pass? Oh, my.
For Sichting.
Tied at 43, 8:26 to go first half.
That's taking full use of your body and your skills. Both hands, protecting the ball with your body, good eyes.
McHale doesn't often miss the free throw, but does here. Boston having a little trouble at the charity mark tonight.
I think everything they get from McHale tonight is a bonus.
3 over Connor Henry.
And the Bulls are entering every time the Celtics. That's the question.
The lob down to McHale, basket. The foul was prior to the shot. Basket won't count. It's on Granville Waiters. He was holding McHale.
There's the hole. Now the bump. And the bump and the push and the...
Ball belongs to Chicago. Bulls by 2. Here's something that Doug Collins talked about. He said when Jordan's not there, the Bulls seem often disoriented with their offense. Threatt, however, picking up some of the scoring slack.
Because their guards, unless on a fast break, they don't do a good job of penetrating. And so they do a lot of perimeter moving, but they don't go toward the basket.
The double Bird. Ainge was open way out high. Bird just turns around and takes it. McHale misses the attempted offensive rebound and tip. Threatt and Sellers are down deep. Kite takes it from Sellers. Sellers goes into the baseline seats. Chicago by 4. Paxson for 3.
I think Bird's going to need a little rest in a little while. He's just starting to huff and puff a little bit.
Timeout Boston with 6 minutes, 49 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Bulls lead by 4. And on Sunday, hope you'll join Skip Carey and Bill Russell. Philadelphia at Boston. Dr. J will be saying goodbye to the Garden. Charles Barkley, Larry Bird. That'll be a good one. Philadelphia and Boston Sunday, 1:05 Eastern Time. At the conclusion of tonight's game, Bill and I will be selecting the Miller Lite player of the game. Here's the situation at Chicago Stadium. 6:49 to go, first half. Bulls lead it by 4, 47-43. Bird had 20 in the first quarter, but here in about 5 minutes and 15 seconds has failed to score. Larry Bird, as you pointed out, was getting a little tired, but is staying in there. We see Daye has come in for the Boston Celtics, however.
Now, this is one of the times when you have to learn how to rest while playing hard. And it can be... You can play 46, 48 minutes.
Parish over the double team. I saw that Michael Jordan was defensing Larry Bird last time. That'll be interesting to see. Bulls lead by 2. Jordan back in for Chicago.
And
Bird's
Larry
on
Bird.
Jordan.
That's quite a combination.
Fouls on Larry Bird.
Larry Bird fouls him as Jordan blows by him on the baseline. That'll wear out Bird even more. And talking about being tired.
I thought he invited, where his stance was, we approached Michael Jordan. He invited him to go baseline. And a guy like Michael Jordan is usually not very much help when he goes baseline because he usually gets there too late.
McHale did get there, but Bird fouled him from behind. Jordan now with 13 points. Had 40 last night in the loss to New Jersey. It's a 4-point Bulls lead with 6:18 to go in the half. Daye from 18. Daye out of UCLA, picked up mid-season by Boston, playing a lot more and doing well in a bench role, playing about 15 minutes a game. Waiters with a tip in. Well, Boston's throwing about everybody they can at Michael Jordan in an attempt to defense him. We have a 20-second timeout on the floor. K.C. Jones with his Boston Mash unit over there on the side. Dennis Johnson at home with a sore right shoulder. Bill Walton, who rejoined the team just a few games ago, is out with a sore ankle. He doesn't appear to be re-injured, but he's back in Boston. His ankle got sore. And Tuesday night, we have a big night of basketball for you, starting at 8:05 Eastern Time with a replay of the slam dunk from the Seattle All-Star Saturday, and you'll want to see that. Michael Jordan, of course, won it. Then Washington will be playing at Chicago. Bill Russell will be back here with Charlie Neal for that game. And then Rick Barry and I will be in Los Angeles for the game with Houston. With 12 seconds on the shot clock, Bird misses, and Waiters come up with several rebounds since he came in the game. That's his 5th rebound off the bench for Granville Waiters. Corzine. Sedale 3. And Bird with the defensive rebound for Boston. Larry Bird with 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 20 points so far.
Illegal defense. You can't do that, Sedale. Treat. You go the other way. You can't turn around and go back.
What was interesting is Ainge was pointing it out while he held the ball. Officiating and looking for a pass. Here's McHale. They triple teamed him. Bulls by 4. 4:59 to go, second quarter. Bird over Jordan. Bird with a 3-inch height advantage, and Bird has his first points of this quarter.
And the Bulls have thrown it away.
Not many turnovers. 5 for Boston, 7 for Chicago.
And what's sad about these kind of games that are so exciting to watch offensively is that they don't last very long.
McHale. Bird got pushed out of there, lost the rebound. Corzine hit his first perimeter shot off the glass. He's tried 2 since then, been way off the mark. 24 points for Larry Bird. Tied at 51.
And what's so tough about that shot, that was an easy shot. The Celtics did not have to work hard for that one at all. That gives you a little more energy to play defense.
Daye playing Jordan.
And the foul's on Daye, I believe.
It is. It looked to me as though Ainge may have reached in, but the call was on Daye.
But he did make Michael Jordan go to the middle where there's some help there, where that's where Ainge was able to reach in.
14 fouls on both teams. Next one will be a shooting foul. Paxson gets the big pick from Oakley. It's a 2-point shot. 53-51 Chicago, and John Paxson has 16 points to lead all Chicago scorers. Jordan has 13 thus far. Off the pick comes Ainge. Oakley. Daye down low on Michael Jordan, and the Bulls are always looking for number 23. They find him. Corzine finally gets it off the glass. 4-point Chicago lead. Corzine with 10 points. Bird posts Jordan down there, and it's tough to stop him once he gets the ball on the baseline that close.
And he was looking for a free throw.
3. Daye with the defensive board.
Got to be traveling, or is that a foul? Now, Corzine
No shot.
was an illegal defense at the point. If you take a look at it, if you can see the play here. Let's see, Michael's, are they holding each other or what?
Foul on Michael Jordan. That's 2.
Now, you know, if there was any other 2 players, if there was a different guy guarding Bird or if Jordan's guarding another guy that fouled, would have gone the other way.
Up at halftime, Charlie Neal will be along with all the scores, highlights, and news from around the NBA. Tonight's special feature, Michael Jordan's amazing 63 against Boston in last year's playoffs. I had to check the score twice when I saw that last year. I can. Him scoring 63 is not so surprising.
He broke the record that was set by Elgin Baylor in the same building against the same team. I was at that one. I know what it looks like. It's not a pretty thing if you're on the other team.
I was going to say, you did all you could to stop him, I'm sure. Once
I was trying to stay away from him.
Who was defensing him then?
Everybody. We brought in some of the Boston police. Didn't work.
The militia. 55-55, 2:51 to go. Second quarter from Chicago Stadium. Along with Bill Russell, this is Bob Neal. Had ourselves a beautiful ball game here tonight. Something you didn't necessarily expect, as they're both coming off road losses and playing hurt and tired. Jordan. Goaltending from Parish. Jordan with 16.
Let's take a look and see if that was, as that move, airborne. Yep, good call.
Bird wanted Ainge to do something else with the ball. They end up with a three-point basket.
He wanted Ainge to
Bird.
move in, and Ainge stayed outside the three-point shot.
Bird with, get this, 31 points. 2:15 to go until halftime. That's the Bird scoring show here tonight. Larry's high this year is 43, so it is definitely, probably going to fall. Definitely, probably. Jordan.
2 minutes left.
Bird running. Parish loses it out of bounds. It was knocked out by Chicago. It'll belong to the Celtics with 19 seconds on the shot clock, and the Celtics leading by 1.
Jerry Sichting.
Here comes Jerry Sichting back into the game. Darren Daye goes out.
And Darren Daye did a pretty good job for the Celtics for the time he's in there.
Good defense by the Bulls. They're an excellent defensive club. Jordan against Bird and Sichting, and then finally fouled by Parish, I believe.
Sichting.
No, Sichting. They say he got him first. There were about 3 guys who got him, actually. They're going to charge it to Sichting.
Michael Jordan with 2 shots.
That was not a foul. The ball was knocked loose with Parish, and there's a loose ball when the contact was made. But they're going to miss a couple. These guys have missed a couple free throws.
We have 1:42 to go in the first half as Michael Jordan notches his 16th point. He's 4 for 4 from the free throw line. High for the year, 61 versus Detroit back in early March in overtime. Sellers has it batted away by
And a
Parish,
foul
and a
on
foul
Sellers.
on Sellers.
Fouls on McHale Sellers. And second.
We'll shoot it down at the other end with the game tied at 58.
No, the more I watch Michael Jordan play, of his are revealed, and a lot of the skills are very subtle. But he does a lot of things very well that you don't hear people talking about.
Kevin McHale.
As I said earlier in the game, he's an excellent defensive player.
Second in the NBA in steals, among other things. Had 4 last night against New Jersey. And I don't know how many he's had here tonight in terms of steals, but if he gets 2, he'll break his own club record for steals. He's definitely underestimated as a defensive player, but there's an obvious reason why. This is what they buy the tickets to see. Well, they don't buy it to see that. They see it to go through the nets, but he misses. He's struggling a little in terms of shooting percentage tonight, but still has 16. Celtics lead by 1. Time remaining in the lower right-hand corner of your screen in the first half.
And it's going to be a foul on Brad Sellers.
Holding Larry Bird as he came through.
As Larry gave him some veteran acting. He goes through here now. He's going to see now he gives the emphasis when he gets pushed. He lets himself be pushed a little more.
That's 3 fouls on Sellers. Poquet in, Sellers out. Poquet gave up a quick, 16, 18 points to Bird at the opening of the ball game.
That's not good for your psyche. You get to start your first game in 2 years, and then a guy lights you up.
Oh, he'll have nightmares about this tonight.
Depends on who wins.
Oh, that's a good point. Bird's season average is 27.1. That's on the way to breaking his single game high of 43, probably. Celtics by 3. They had trailed by 5. Paxson.
Paxson's having himself a good night offensively.
18 points. Less than a minute to go in the half. Celtics lead it by 1. It's been a beauty. Don't think Michael Jordan doesn't know that he's losing a scoring battle to Bird tonight. Corzine with a rebound. Poquet defending Bird on that drive. Paxson would have given Chicago the lead. Robert Parish. And Parish in double figures with 10.
That was almost a fast break.
A secondary fast break, somebody would call it. I wouldn't call it that, but somebody might. It's 63-60 Celtics, only 6 seconds left in the half. Poquette wanted to get 2 of those points back from Bird, couldn't do it. Out of bounds with 1 second remaining. Boston ball. At the end of the first half, Celtics lead it by 3, and of the 63 Celtics points, give 33 to Larry Bird. We'll be going back to our studios in Atlanta. Charlie Neal will have all the highlights and updates on NBA action, in addition to a look at that great offensive performance by Michael Jordan against Boston in the playoffs last year. Then we'll be back here at Chicago Stadium. Stay with us.
Presidential Sports Update, a look at scores and highlights from tonight's NBA action. The Houston Rockets are trying to shore up their squad for the playoffs. I'll have more on that. And a musical tribute to the league's leading scorer, Michael Jordan. All that and more coming up next. Celtics games against the Bulls that you're enjoying. There are 6 other games on tonight's NBA schedule, including the Philadelphia 76ers. They're hosting the New Jersey Nets. Now, the Sixers have lost their last 2 games, trying to stay ahead of Washington for at least 5th place in the Eastern Conference when the playoffs get underway. Well, right now, 47 lead over the New Jersey Nets. Meanwhile, in Cleveland tonight, Milwaukee coach Don Nelson had his troops against the Cavaliers, and Brad Daugherty, the league's leading assist man among centers, passes to Ron Harper, the league's rookie scoring leader. Nice move there. He had 14 first-half points. Ricky Pierce was averaged over 24 points per game against the Cavaliers this year, had 8 in the first quarter. Bagley answers for the Cavaliers, taking the ball the length of the court for the layup and getting the foul. Terry Cummings had 19 at the first half. At the end of the first half, the Bucks' leading scorer of the season powers past rookie John Williams right here, slams it through. He had 8 points in the first quarter, as I said, 19 at the half, and right now Cleveland has a 5-point lead over Milwaukee at the half. In Indiana tonight, the Knicks were in action. Bob Hill looking on, and rookie Kenny Walker doing a good job here, coming on as of late, and the rookie, who's averaging just over 10 points per game this season, puts in 2 the hard way. Steve Stepanovich finds Chuck Person, who drives the length of the court for a layup. Person has been the Pacers' leading scorer in 22 games this season. Person, a leading candidate for Rookie of the Year honors. Steve Stepanovich outlets to Vern Fleming, who takes it all the way for the layup. Fleming averaging just over 12 points a game this season, and right now in the third quarter, that game is all tied at 66. Meanwhile, starting shortly, it'll be the Spurs, who still have a chance, have won their last 2. Jazz trying to stay ahead of Houston in the West, and the LA Clippers will be at Phoenix. Meanwhile, later on tonight on the West Coast, Golden State at Seattle, a big game for both teams, as only 1 game separates them from 5th and 6th spot in the Western Conference playoff race. And I return a look at the teams who are vying for the home court advantage during the playoffs, plus other news from around the NBA. Stay with us. You know, there's less than a month left in the regular season, which makes each game more critical, especially to the teams going to the playoffs. For one, every team wants the home court advantage. It's always said that it's hard to win away from home in the NBA, and this past week is a perfect example of why. There have been 28 NBA games played since last Sunday, and 23 of them were won by the home team. In fact, in the last 2 days, the visiting teams have not won at all, giving the home teams a 10-0 sweep. Only 4 teams in the league have winning records: the Lakers, Celtics, Hawks, and Pistons. The Hawks are the only team that's won on the road lately. They won 2 straight, while Boston has dropped their last 5 road games. So now that crunch time is here, it's even more important to win those games away from home. In other NBA news, the Golden State Warriors are planning to activate rookie Chris Washburn tomorrow. He's expected to play tomorrow night against Utah. Washburn has missed 26 games after being admitted to a drug rehab center in California. Washburn will replace forward Purvis Short on the roster. Short, who has missed 8 games because of a pulled muscle in his right leg, has been placed on the injured list. Meanwhile, in Houston, Ralph Sampson, who has missed 25 games since undergoing arthroscopic knee surgery, worked out with the team this week. They're hoping to have him back maybe as early as next week, if not, at least by the last week of the regular season. The Rockets are also trying to lure George Gervin, the 4-time NBA scoring champ, back from the Italian League. Gervin said he's happy in Italy, but left room for negotiations. And a reminder, we'll have a special Sunday afternoon NBA edition. The Philadelphia 76ers travel to Boston to take on the Celtics. That game is at 1:05. Then on Tuesday night, a super night of basketball. We'll kick it off with highlights of the recent slam dunk contest. The first game will have the Washington Bullets in Chicago to meet the Bulls, followed by the Houston Rockets in L.A. to take on the Lakers. That's Sunday, 1:05, Tuesday at 8:05 here on the Superstation. And when I return, a classic look at Michael Jordan. An athletic performance extends beyond expectations. In basketball, one of the most memorable performances occurred 25 years ago when Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points. Well, last spring, just 1 month after returning from a broken foot injury, Michael Jordan astounded the basketball world by scoring 63 points in a double overtime game against the Boston Celtics in the playoffs. Attention.
Milky Way. A Milky Way a day helps you work, rest, and play.
Game. Let's enjoy a special play from the NBA.
Valvoline presents another special play in the NBA.
Atlanta's Dominique Wilkins goes up and over the Bullets' 7'6" minute bowl for the power dunk and 2 of his 31.
Plays like that make the NBA special. Here's what makes motor oil special.
Thanks for watching. I'll be back at the end of the game to update all the scores. Now let's go back to Chicago. Bob and Bill are standing by for the second half of tonight's exciting game.
And thank you, Charlie. Interesting halftime features again. Michael Jordan with an incredible performance against Boston in the playoffs last year. He's had a pretty good performance here in the first half, but the real story has been Larry Bird's offensive performance. And I think, Bill, it's been interesting that both these teams coming off road losses have played such an up-tempo, relatively mistake-free game.
Well, that's because they're both smarting. This is like a night in anger. When you come out and you lose games, close ball games, especially this time of year, you irritate yourself and say, because we could have had that one. And so you say, well, make sure tonight that it doesn't happen again.
Let's have a look at some of the highlights. First of all, Michael Jordan, who's last night had 40 points, and tonight's about almost halfway to that kind of total again.
This is when he goes down the middle and uses that good vision and flying time.
And he's playing some pretty good defense tonight, too. Has 16 points. His efficiency rating 7. Now, that, if you projected for a whole game, would be about a 14, which is a pretty good night for Michael. And Larry Bird with 33 first-half points.
Now they got Jordan on Bird. Now, that says something about Jordan's defense, not on that particular shot, but what it says is that they have a lot of confidence in his defense, and that they put him on a guy like Larry Bird, who was lit the building up pretty good. He's going to check all the digits on the scoreboard.
And that's one of the reasons that Bird has the 33.
Now, Gene Banks is standing there, and he's got to be thinking, well, I'll have to get an upgrade on my contract. He wouldn't get that many on me.
Banks played Bird very well last time these two teams met, as a matter of fact. Gene Banks out tonight with a strained right knee. They don't expect him to miss many games. He injured it. They don't know exactly when, nor does he, in last night's loss at New Jersey.
In the first half, the Celtics shot 60%, and the Bulls shot 52%.
And not many turnovers. 7 for Chicago, only 6 for Boston. If they project that for the whole game, that would be league leading in terms of number. Anything below 15 turnovers for a ball game is pretty good.
And let's take a look at the scoring leaders here. Bird with 33, Parish and McHale with 6, and that's a real it's a compliment to Boston in the sense that with McHale only 6 and they're in the ball game. Paxson's playing way above himself in 18. Jordan is Michael Jordan's a little behind schedule, but he's usually a better second half player than his first half anyway.
We're starting the second half from Chicago Stadium. Celtics lead it by 3. Along with Bill Russell, this is Bob Neal. It's been a good first half. Stick around. We'll probably see some more fireworks from Jordan and Bird and heaven knows who. Danny Ainge just left on the Madison Street exit here. Catch a cab, head downtown. .11 seconds on the shot clock. Corzine for the perimeter shot. Dave Corzine played his college basketball here in Chicago at DePaul University. And it's Boston by 1. Brad Sellers is going to start the second half trying to defend Bird. Now McHale over Corzine. The patented McHale turnaround jumper from about 12.
Now, if he's going to light it up the second half, that could create a problem.
Boston has lost 5 games in a row on the road, the most since the 78-79 season. Sellers was probably an ill-advised feed to Corzine, who got it out to Oakley, missing from long range. Oakley had only 2 points in the first half and 4 rebounds. And Oakley was mysteriously absent from the Chicago offensive and defensive game.
Well, maybe they'll say, well, if you're going to complain about not getting the ball, we'll show you what it feels like not to get the ball.
Bird with a nice pass to McHale, partially blocked by Oakley. Rebound by Sellers. You see the Boston backcourt without Dennis Johnson has really been suffering. Ainge hasn't scored much at all. Dennis Johnson not here tonight, was sent home to Boston with a sore shoulder. That's 8 Chicago turnovers for the game now. Celtics by 3, 10-18 to go, third quarter. Bird follows his own rebound, can't control it though. Jordan does.
First half, he missed his first shot. And then good pass, excellent pass by Michael Jordan. And that I like because he made that pass while he was flat-footed.
Jordan with new fashion tonight. We'll get a shot of his shoes a little later. It's a pair he hasn't been wearing lately.
They must be Air Jordans that he's wearing.
Seems to be. But it's another style tonight. Every kid in America will be checking out which what these look like now. Jordan, you got a good look at him there.
He did something amazing on that shot. He drove to the basket, and then he squared himself up while he's in the air. When he shot that, he was perfectly square when he released that ball.
Jordan with 18 points now. Off 2 screens is Ainge. Tough territory, but Danny Ainge getting past Oakley and Corzine for the layup.
Did a good job protecting the ball with his body on that play. Ainge did.
Jordan jams over Parish. That woke up the Chicago bench.
He should have awakened Robert Parish, because he can get hurt standing on there with that one coming through there.
Parish and Oakley really banging down low. We'll watch for something to happen down there. Parish is angry. Away from Oakley now as he goes on to McHale. Nice feed to Sichting, but tipped away by Jordan. Sellers. Bulls have taken the lead by 1. $17,500 at Chicago Stadium. Nice feed to Ainge. Jordan has incredible hands. He tapped it away. Ainge got it back, and he did it again. Two-on-one Celtic break. Bird from Sichting. Celtics back into the lead by 1. This is a heck of a ball game, Bill.
Yes, it is. Good execution.
Corzine just backs Bird in, and then Corzine misses as badly as you can miss from that distance. Oakley battling and can't get it to go. Sellers couldn't deliver the package that time.
Looks like Oakley's
Parish
completely out of it. He's just standing around now, and then maybe he's hurt or maybe he's just disgusted. But he's not in the flow of this game at all.
You know, he's frustrated. Oakley has only 2 points in the game. He just had a couple of opportunities there and couldn't get it to fall. Sellers.
Good play by Sellers.
Celtics by 1. 7 minutes to go, third quarter.
There's another thing about coaching this league. One of the most difficult things is keep everybody, you can't keep them happy, but just content is a very difficult job. But juggling the playing time and who plays when and who starts and who comes off the bench and when this happens is sometimes some of the players are very important.
Paxson now has 20, as does Michael Jordan for Chicago. Granville Waiters was going to get into the game for the Bulls and return to the table. 6:34 to go in the third quarter. It's Celtics by 1. Sichting stepped out of bounds as he tried to get around the screen to get the pass from Larry Bird. And we have a timeout, Chicago, with 6:25 to go in the third quarter.
Sports coverage of the NBA is being brought to you by Honda, who invite you to experience the Accord DX 4-door at your local Honda dealer. And by California Cooler, the real stuff.
Well, what would you expect in Chicago? The Blues Brothers? How about the Blues Sisters performing here while we were away? Some of the kids from the old neighborhood.
Oh, is that where they're from? Oh, okay. That must be some old neighborhood.
You bet. That's why they call it the old neighborhood. Celtics lead by 1. They tried to lob to Jordan, and there was a holding foul.
By Danny Ainge.
I was about to say that halfway through the third quarter, there had been no fouls called. And scratch that. Now there's been one. First one, however, very unusual. Not many called in the whole ball game, as you
And
said,
not very
Bill.
many free throws.
No, it's been well executed. Jordan against Ainge. Just outweighted it. Lost out of bounds off Jordan. It'll be Boston ball.
Now, what I've noticed in the last couple minutes, Larry Bird has been resting, although he's been on the floor.
Boston with Dennis Johnson, Scott Wedman, Sam Vincent, Bill Walton, all not here because of injuries. Sichting, great perimeter shooter.
And good ball movement.
And speaking of Ainge, you know, the backcourt has not been scoring all that well for Boston this game, but Ainge has 10 assists. Had one there. Sellers collected the loose ball, but gave it to the wrong team. Bird to McHale, he's fouled.
Fouls on Granville Waiters. His third.
This program authorized under rights granted by the National Basketball Association solely for the entertainment of our audience, and any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of Bill Russell and the National Basketball Association is prohibited. And we'll give you Bill's home address. You can write him for the permission here in a moment, and phone number, and where you're going to be on the road.
Thanks. Thanks a lot, Bob.
Celtics.
I just want to see if you could memorize it.
I never have memorized it. It's a mental block against that thing. Boston leading by 4. This is the most they've led by in the game. Chance to increase that to 6 now. Another Chicago turnover. Parish defense by Oakley. Now the whistle starting to sound.
Now this is
Charles
where,
Oakley's
this
foul.
is where
Second team foul.
Doug Collins has to really, let's take a better look at his play here. Now there's the foul there. But this is where the game gets away from a team like Chicago. The team is in the game. You'll hit it a flat stretch. And you let it get away, and then when you come back, you fall a couple points short.
And exactly the idea in the mind of Doug Collins as he calls timeout. Talking about Charles Oakley not being real happy about not getting enough shooting, scoring opportunities, Bill.
Yeah, well, there he's getting next to Jordan, although there's 1,000 shots behind him. He's still a couple of hundred shots ahead of anybody else. Now, one thing you have to realize, he's not shooting a very high percentage. And on a night like tonight, it's not let him stay out of the game. You got to work on him.
Get him involved.
Yes, you got to go out there. You got to talk to him and coax the game out of him. See, most of the guys that are playing this league, the better the player, the more games he comes to able to play at efficiency. And so that's the nice. The coach has to help him get in the game, although he may not feel like it.
Celtics by 6 from Chicago Stadium. Along with Bill Russell, it's Bob Neal. 4:48 to go, third quarter. Chicago in 7th place out of the 8 playoff teams in the Eastern Conference. Jordan in a lot of traffic has it partially blocked. Celtics build their biggest lead. Shot clock to 10. Nice play by Parish. And Ainge traveled with the ball.
Now that's a waste of a good pass. Let him block it. Shoot that. So you blocked, hit me on the head with it, but I'm going to shoot it. And when a good passer makes a pass like that, and the guy does that, he gets so mad. So next time I'll shoot it.
Celtics 80, Bulls 74. 4 minutes to go in the quarter. Jordan and the traffic again stripped away, but he collects it himself. Granville Waiters.
Good throw.
And Chicago's struggling right now. They seem out of sync. Sichting running the show tonight in place of the injured Dennis Johnson for the Boston Celtics.
And you know what, another thing that you run into this time of year, players get a little tested with their teammates this time of year, because a lot of things have accumulated over the period of time. You didn't give me the ball when I was open, or why you bring your man over here, all this kind of stuff. And so it's a real struggle this time of year. A lot of the things that go on that are intriguing.
Real challenge for first-year coach Doug Collins here with the Bulls. There's Oakley with the ball, passes up the shot, gets it to Sellers. He's fouled by Parish. Bird, by the way, with that last basket now has 37 points. Remember, his season high is 43. He got a great chance to get past that 43 tonight. Sadale Threatt's going to come into the ball game for Chicago. Jordan and Waiters go out, and Corzine re-enters.
That's something you can blame, if you want to call it that, Michael Jordan for. A new tennis record for the home season. That's impressive.
That's an interesting stat here at Chicago Stadium.
Yes.
I thought the capacity was 17.5. And as we look at the top of the rafters, Bill, it is definitely standing room only. People are standing in the back and the top rafters here to see.
You know, when you
Michael
talk about
Jordan.
a city like Chicago that's had major league teams in all sports for forever almost, that a kid can get that much enthusiasm.
Rebound, Oakley. You say they're here to see Jordan. I'd say a few are here to also see the Celtics.
But that's the whole season is what I'm talking about.
You got it. Well, they cheer Michael Jordan when he walks into the building, literally.
Yes.
Boston and Chicago tied with 10 turnovers each. And the Celtics lead it by 6. 2:44 to go third quarter. Nobody's been able to do much with Bird defensively tonight. Chicago's tried Sellers and Poquette and Jordan on it. Parish with a long rebound. New shot clock. For three, Daye Ainge. 85-76, and the Celtics jump out to a 9-point lead.
That's a real good thing with Ainge and McHale. It gives Bird a little break. Plus, That'll open it up for McHale if they keep, if Ainge keeps hitting that shot.
No shot.
And the foul is going to be on Sedale 3. No shot. Do not count the basket.
Let's take another look at that.
13 foul.
Ainge goes there. I guess there's a foul. And he's asking for deliverance.
Got his left heel taken out from under him, is what Danny's saying. Checked him against the boards there. McHale over Corzine unsuccessfully. Oakley with a loose ball. It's been a while since Chicago's been able to score. Remember, Michael Jordan is on the bench getting some rest right now. Last night, Chicago led in the third quarter by 9. They gave Jordan a minute-and-a-half rest, and Chicago lost the lead and eventually the game. Sellers from the perimeter. Big bucket. Chicago needed that one. It had been a long dry spell, and now it's 85-78 Boston. Off the screen, Larry Bird has 39 points. Had 20 in the first quarter, 33 at halftime. I was wondering if he was on his way to an 80-point game at the end of the first quarter. Paxson for 3. And Paxson has 23. He's having a good offensive night for Chicago. Paxson has got the same number of points. Matter of fact, he's got 3 more points than Jordan. McHale with a reverse. Nice pass from Ainge.
Excellent pass. Had to be perfect. Just over defensive man where Kevin McHale could hold him and still gets the pass.
Paxson misses a reverse. Sellers with a rebound. Loose ball foul.
Loose ball foul, Brad Sellers.
It's on Brad Sellers. That's his 4th personal foul. Sellers has contributed 12 points tonight. And 5 rebounds. We've been talking about him having his difficulties with Bird, but he's getting a few of those points back. I don't know if you want to try to defense Bird by trading baskets with him.
No, it doesn't. He doesn't usually come out even.
Off the screen again, Larry Bird. Oakley now adding up some rebounds. 9 rebounds for Oakley, who's second in the NBA behind Barkley. Sellers, offensive board, missed it, he's fouled. Sellers playing with some intensity tonight. Usually only plays about 20 minutes a game. He's called on for a lot more because of the injury to Banks.
Brad Sellers with 2 shots.
That's 3 on Parish.
Oakley.
And Greg Kite coming into the game.
Parish.
And Robert Parish will get a rest. Oakley also sits down for a few minutes. Corzine, Sellers, Granville Waiters are the big men for Chicago. Paxson and Threatt are in the backcourt for the Bulls. McHale, Bird. Sichting gets a rest. The depleted Boston bench.
Well, it doesn't have a reputation for being that strong anyway, although it's stronger than it has a reputation for. So that they're still getting guys come to the bench to give them some input. Half when he got him involved in.
For 3, Danny Ainge. McHale with a big offensive rebound and a follow-up. That's at the buzzer to end the third quarter. The Celtics led by 3 at the half and lead by 9 at the end of 3 from Chicago. Neal as they review the weekend in sports. Watch the sports page every Sunday night at 11 Eastern Time, 8 Pacific, only on Superstation TBS. By the way, this weekend, Craig Sager's in New Orleans for the NCAA Final Four, and he'll have a report from down there. Let's see, Syracuse, Providence, UNLV, Indiana. Bill, who you pick?
The good guys.
Let me see.
Last summer,
who you would think would be the good guys there.
Well, this last summer when we were over in Spain, I worked with Bobby Knight, and I just have so much respect for him, and I like him a lot. I like Armin Gilliam was on that team that won the World Championships, and he did a great job for the Team USA. So, you
were commenting quickly about Connor Henry gets it across just beating the 10 seconds about Tarkanian and Bob Knight earlier today.
Yeah, they're good friends.
Shot clock to 7. Connor Henry from long range. Misses. Sellers rebounding. Fourth, he has 7 rebounds and 13 points. And the 7-foot youngster from Ohio State has made his final 12 minutes from Chicago Stadium. Jordan back in there. Bird resting for Boston right now. Darren Daye's in for Bird. Corzine gets the roll and the bounce. 7-point Celtics lead. Greg Kite's what you'd call open out there, but he doesn't really have a perimeter game.
And that's why it's hard for him to pass, because he's got to be looking for the pass.
Shot clock to 3. McHale.
It's hard when you're out in a position where they know you can't shoot and you're looking for the pass, because they close down the passing lane right away.
McHale's playing hurt tonight, but he has 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. We didn't even think he'd play it prior to the game starting. 10 minutes, 31 seconds to go, fourth quarter. Celtics 93, Bulls 86. Looked like Connor Henry walked there on the pass. Let's reset the lineups. You see a lot of changes for Boston. 31 is Fred Roberts shooting and missing. Corzine rebounding for Chicago. Darren Daye, Greg Kite, Connor Henry, and Kevin McHale, the Boston lineup. And there was a pass.
They tried to pass to you, Bob.
I was
you
open.
got bad hands, though.
I was open. It came right to our table here. My opportunity to score at Chicago Stadium. 93
here once, didn't you?
Yeah. Yes, as a matter of fact. Nobody was in the stands.
That's just
You and I have that one thing in common. The difference is I was on a recreation team. You were on a team a little higher caliber, as I recall.
I played here in college. That's how this building is.
Against Northwestern or DePaul or Loyola?
Determined, Marquette and DePaul.
Minutes to go in this ball game. Let's look at that Chicago lineup now. We told you who's in there for Boston off their bench. For Chicago, it's Threatt and Jordan, Corzine, Granville Waiters, and Brad Sellers. Bird is back in for Boston, by the way. McHale in the paint. Michael Jordan with a rebound. That's Jordan's 5th rebound. He has 22 points and 3 assists tonight. Sellers. Nice move. Jordan has it batted away by Darren Daye. Connor Henry is fouled. Connor Henry started the season with Houston. He's from Cal Santa Barbara, really known as a perimeter shooter more than anything else, but I think he handles the ball well. I know Red Auerbach sees a future for him. McHale starting to line it up. He has 17 now, Kevin McHale.
4 nights I wish he had made that flight.
Specific injury is a sore right knee. You see the tape on it. Bird with a good play. Jordan. They wanted to see it. 3. There's Jordan doing something very well. Used his judgment, didn't try to beat the 2 defenders, took it out, found the open man. 8.5 minutes to go in this one from Chicago.
And the Celtics.
That was such a bad pass that Jordan was surprised. Daye with Boston lead. It's going to be tough for Chicago here.
And this is where Dennis Johnson would be so strong for Boston, making the good passes and not throwing the ball away and getting the ball the way you want it.
Sedale 3. Threatt only averages about 8.5 a game and plays normally about 20 minutes, and he's Boston by 7. It'll belong to Chicago. And we've some substitutes coming into the game. Paxson and Oakley for the Bulls. Danny Ainge for the Celtics as Connor Henry goes to the bench, and Granville Waiters will sit down along with, let's see, who else is taking the rest for Chicago. Three.
He got a treat. He and Graham Williams both had to go take a seat.
So Paxson and Jordan, the starting guards, are in there now. Michael to Oakley. It's blocked. Sellers fouled hard by Kite. That looked like an offensive tackle, pass protecting. See if he kept his hands in front of his jersey here. There's the block. Ooh. Greg Kite's a truckload also. Parish back into the game. Parish, McHale, Ainge, Daye, and Larry Bird for the Celtics right now.
And unnecessary.
5-point Celtics lead now. Chicago battling back in it. Chicago with their 4 starters with the exception of Brad Sellers. Remember, Banks is hurt, not playing tonight with a sore knee. Bird. McHale against the Celtics. Really in foul trouble. Sellers has 4, and that's about it.
And the Bulls can pull with.
And Casey Jones now has his starting lineup in there to see if he can stem the 2.
And you would think that unless something untoward happens.
It's
both
3-on-2.
teams will finish with this lineup. And the foul's on Paxson. If you think you're going to steal the ball from Bird, a little guy going in there, you're going to get a little punch in the face there.
6:57 to go, 4th quarter. Beat the Knicks tonight. Indiana in 8th place in the Eastern Conference in playoffs. Chicago 7th. Indiana half a game back. If the Bulls lose tonight, they would drop into 8th place. And what that means is, if the playoffs were to start tonight, that means the Chicago Bulls at Boston. So that was a significant score. Cleveland leading Milwaukee. Doug Collins, 35 years old, played at Illinois State, Olympic basketball, 76ers, youngest coach in the NBA. Parish over Sellers.
And almost pulled up lame on that shot there. Parish. In fact, he's still limping a little bit.
Came out of there a little gingerly. You're right, he's moving. So he's got a sore ankle. Corzine open on the baseline, didn't take the shot, threw it away. Tried to find Oakley. Bird with the steal, with the interception, actually. Celtics leading it by 7. 6:21 to go in the game. There's that same pick and roll we saw earlier, and then the dish to McHale.
Outstanding pass by Robert Parish. Set off by a great pass by Larry Bird. It's almost like a relay man, a good pickup when a guy trying to score from second.
Corzine can't handle it.
Now, Corzine wouldn't even handle that, but that was one of the things I didn't like about Michael. He jumped in the air to make that pass. And I think you're a much better passer if you're on the floor. Except if you're penetration and they're going to the hoop and then you throw it. He's so open head, probably can't make that one. Oh, he did.
49 points. That was a 2-point basket, by the way. Bird has 41 points. He's 2 below his season high. Well, Larry Bird has 41 points. The Chicago Bulls out with a strained knee tonight, and he plays Bird well generally. Has feasted on it. 2 points below his season high with 5 minutes 41 seconds remaining in the game, and the Celtics lead by 11, their biggest lead of the game. Michael Jordan hasn't scored but 6 points in this half.
He's got a mismatch here.
Got it to Sellers.
And that's what the Bulls have to do, is when he makes their pass, they have to capitalize on it, which this is, as the season gets better and the team gets more accustomed to each other, they're doing that.
Sellers with 17 points and 9 rebounds. He's playing himself into more playing time, filling in for Gene Banks, but here's where his Bird Sichting. Oh, and many times we've seen it.
The open basket.
Usually when that happens to the Celtics, it's Dennis Johnson getting that pass from Bird. He's hurt tonight with a sore right shoulder and in Boston. Getting very short for Chicago, 4:50 remaining. And Indiana won tonight. Chicago could drop into the 8th playoff spot if they lose. Shot clock down to 6. It's Chicago ball. Good, fortunate break for the Bulls.
Now what they're doing, the Celtics have determined that they're going to make Jordan make the pass and make the other guys beat him. So they double team him in a place where he has to give it up, and the other guys are going to have to make a shot.
Sellers
is up to
traveled,
it.
but he gets the basket. There was an example of what you're talking about.
They're going to make the other guys beat him. And Jordan will not beat him if they can help it, unless he does it over double team.
Sellers has 6 in this quarter, has 13 in the half. He's had a very good first half. 105-96, Celtics by 9.
And as Jordan, he had a double team, he throws it, gives it up. And then Ainge is playing without the ball again to keep him from getting back in there, but he's in there with the, well, get out of the way.
Stripped away by Jordan. A great defensive play from behind on McHale. Sellers, who's red hot, misses this with Corzine with the board. Looking for Jordan. It's stripped away from behind, and Ainge lost it. Jordan wide open on the other side of the court. They don't see him. Sellers drives. He's fouled. Jordan was open.
He was open, but it wasn't open. He was open in a place where he'd have to create something. It wasn't open where there was something to give him. Now here's the play here. There's the foul. Hit him after he released it.
That's 4 on Parish.
And Sellers has the attitude, well, give me the ball, I'll score. Which can be good if you can make free throws.
Sellers 70% free throw shooter. Six for 8 from the line tonight, and Brad Sellers has 20 points. His season high is 27. 8-point Boston lead. Ainge to McHale.
Boy, that was some shot McHale just made there.
Exactly where he was when he received the ball. Shot clock to 10. Boston defense playing well. Paxson for 3. .253 to go.
They did not get a good shot off, and that's just good defense.
You wonder when all the close losses start catching up on a team like Chicago.
When you say, now, how are we going to lose this one? But at this point, it's not one of those games where they can feel that way because they're...
Jordan has 3 fouls, as you see, and the team foul situation 4 on... Send the Celtics to the line. Sichting wide open. Has 14 points, Ainge 10 tonight.
And see, when the Bulls are not rotating as quick as they should, because in the double team, there's always a guy open, but you got to rotate. Good defense. Give them.
Check that. That's only the 4th team foul against Boston. So Michael Jordan is not really lighting it up tonight like they think. He had 40 last night, only 22, and for him that far below his
I would love to
average.
have heard that conversation that Michael Jordan and Larry Bird just had.
Oakley for 3. Do you believe it? Charles Oakley had only 2 points prior to that shot tonight. I guess he figured if he couldn't score down low, he'd try it out there.
2 minutes left in this ball game.
And the foul's going to be on Corzine.
Corzine.
Wait, 3 seconds.
They're calling 3. That's right. He did. It belongs to Chicago, and the Bulls trailing by 9 can cut it to 7 with 1:55 to go. Major possession for Chicago here. The Boston trap. Oakley for a 3-pointer, and he misses this one. There's Sellers. Takes it back. He's fouled by Parish. That'll be 5 if it is Parish. It is 5 on Parish. A lot of time left, really. Minute 44. Boston in the penalty now.
Sellers is having himself a pretty good game. Coming with the offensive rebound from a bad shot. There's a foul.
They need his free throws now.
By the time that I said that he was 6 for 8, which is 75%, which is...
You wonder why the Bulls and Michael Jordan are tired? Since March 7th, they've played or practiced every single day, and sometimes both. Oakley with a big one. It's a 3-point play. 1 free throw and the rebound, and now it's Celtics by 6 with 1:39 to go, and Casey Jones says time out. Boston missed a long-range bomb. Chicago with a rebound and a chance to pull to within 4. The foul is going to be on Larry Bird. Looks like it's only hurt but not injured, as you would say, Bill.
Yes, that's a bruise. It still feels uncomfortable.
109, 103, 118 remaining. With these free throws, the Bulls could pull to within 4. They trailed by 11. Only about 3 minutes of playing time ago. Boston has lost 5 games in a row on the road, the most losses in a row on the road since the 78-79 season. The Celtics lead is 4, 1:17 remaining. Boston missing Dennis Johnson at the point guard tonight. Parish throws it. Trying to get around the screen and couldn't get to the pass. Jordan. Big miss by Sellers. And a big rebound
by Robert Parish.
Well said. 45 seconds to go in the game. Celtics by 4. Shot clock to 10. The Bulls playing some great defense here, but here comes Bird. Left hand. Oakley rebound. 4-second difference in the shot clock and the game clock. Jordan misses. Corzine. He's fouled. He'll go to the line. 14 seconds to go.
I think that means when they come up with the ball foul and make them have to make the 2 free throws.
Corzine, a 74% free throw shooter. 14 seconds to go. It's a 4-point game.
Corzine's had a pretty good night. 17 points and 10 of 11 rebounds.
It's tipped in, but it does not count. It's a foul on Chicago's Charles Oakley.
He got away with it last time. There was no chance we were getting away with it 2 times in a row. He got away with it more than last time. Bigger push than that. That wasn't that much of a push.
Fine line. Sometimes I think maybe it becomes cumulative in the mind of the official. Speaking of free throws, this is Boston's first free throw attempt in the quarter. To go. Celtics by 3. Big free throws for Parish coming up here.
Well, he's got to make at least one of them.
Well, he does make one. Parish a 75% free throw shooter.
If he makes this good, he takes a 3 and a 2 to tie, not to win.
And in the clutch, he's a 100% shooter. Timeout Chicago, trailing now by 5 with 14 seconds to go in the game. 111-106. Doug Collins really all over Bavetta. Bulls at 35 and 35 coming into this game tonight. We're in 8th place in the 7th place in the Eastern Conference playoff battle. Indiana a half game back in 8th place. Indiana won tonight, so if Chicago does not come back here in 14 seconds and get 5 points, and that's going to be tough, Chicago will drop into 8th place, and were the season to end today, they'd have to play this Celtics team with the Celtics in a home court advantage in that 5-game first-round playoff series. They're all talking playoff positioning right now.
Well, the good teams are not only talking playoff positioning, but they're trying to gear the game up to play playoff basketball, which is different than regular season basketball. Because one thing you have a chance to do in playoffs is prepare for a team and to probe against that particular team. And matchups are the key element in. Like you may be 5-1 against one team and 3-3 against another team, but those two teams' records will be just completely askew.
Sports, Charlie Neal standing by in our studios with all latest score. Bill and I will also have the Miller Lite player of the game. 14 seconds remaining from Chicago Stadium. Celtics 111, Bulls 106, and Chicago called timeout. And here's what Doug Collins was talking to us about. It's a 5-point game, obviously, but when Chicago comes into this kind of situation, they almost always look to one man, the one closer, as he calls him, Michael Jordan. Jordan has been defensed very, very well by Danny Ainge, mostly, in terms of the man-on-man matchups.
But what they do is when he isolates, they double team him to make him have to get the ball up before he can get his move started.
Right, which has been the key to it.
Yeah, keep him grounded.
By a lot. The shot clock is off. And Boston is going to snap their road game losing streak. The Celtics beat the Bulls 111-106. Chicago drops into the final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference now, and where the playoffs to start tonight, it would be Celtics and Bulls, and you can tell it right now, the Chicago Bulls will need Gene Banks healthy if they have any kind of hope against the Boston Celtics. We'll be back in just a moment, Bill and I will, to talk about the Miller Lite player of the game, but first we're going to take a commercial break and then go to our studios and Charlie Neal with NBA scores and highlights.
Sports coverage of the NBA has been brought to you by Honda, who invites you to experience the Civic Wagon at your local Honda dealer. And by Miller Genuine Draft, cold filter best. And by Skin Bracer. It's skincare that feels good. Skin Bracer.
This is Charlie Neal in Atlanta. 106, Larry. Update you on the rest of the night's action. First of all, in Philadelphia tonight, it was the 76ers over New Jersey. 110-99. Charles Barkley at 28, but more importantly, Dr. J back in the 76er lineup, and he responded with a 27-point performance. 76ers staying ahead of Washington for 5th place in the Eastern Conference, and they snap a 2-game losing streak. In Cleveland tonight, the Cavaliers are leading by 1 over Milwaukee, 103-102. That's late in the 4th quarter, under 4 minutes to go in that game. The Bucks need a win to keep pace with Detroit and Atlanta in that Central Division race for the playoff spot. as far as Indiana was concerned tonight. They beat the New York Knicks 100-91, and their win, coupled with the loss by the Chicago Bulls, that puts them into 7th place in the Eastern Conference playoff race. The Pacers win their 4th straight as Chuck Person responded with 22 points for Indiana. In Utah tonight, San Antonio has a 1-point lead over the Jazz. That game is in the 2nd period. And in Phoenix, the Suns are leading the Clippers 38-27. That game is in the 2nd period. And a reminder of our special Sunday NBA edition this Sunday at 1:05 as the Boston Celtics host the Philadelphia 76ers. Then we'll have a super night of basketball coming your way Tuesday evening. We kick it off at 8:05 with highlights of the recent slam dunk contest. You remember Michael Jordan won that one, followed by an NBA doubleheader. First game, we'll have the Chicago Bulls hosting the Washington Bullets. Michael Jordan again going against Moses Malone and company, followed by the Hakeem Olajuwon and their group will go to L.A. to take on the Lakers. Magic Johnson and 8:05. Now let's go back to Chicago Stadium. Bob and Bill with the light player of the game.
And our Miller Lite player of the game, none other than Larry Bird. On behalf of Miller Lite, Turner Broadcasting, proud to donate $1,000 to the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation in the name of Larry Bird. 27 efficiency rating is very high, 41.7 rebounds, 7 assists. And when Gene Banks wasn't there to defend him for Chicago, Bill, they tried everything. Ben Poquette had the nightmare of his career. Sellers, even though he played offensively, couldn't stop Bird. They tried Jordan on him, and when they doubled him, he passed the ball. He just had a great game.
He had an outstanding game, and Boston needed this road win, and you could see that from the outset that Bird was going to make sure that they got him.
And the performance of Michael Jordan tonight was far below his regular performance. Michael Jordan had only 22 points. And as you pointed out, the team defense on Jordan, the concept of making him give it up really worked for Boston tonight.
Yeah, 2 of the guys picked up the slack. I think that what we saw tonight was a demonstration of team politics. In that, who gets the shots and when. And Oakley was disgruntled, and he played that way. He was not very much help to the Bulls tonight. And this is one of the things that you, as a team gets better, you do some compromising and you do some consensus building to get a political machine, so to speak, in that sort of the personalities don't determine who's taking the shots, but the best shooter determines who's going to get the shot.
And they certainly needed Michael Jordan to do that tonight. Brad Sellers did have a good game for the Bulls coming off the bench. Chicago will be at home against the Knicks on Sunday, and the Boston Celtics will go back home to get some much-needed rest and play Philadelphia, and that game will be on the Superstation, 1:05 Eastern Time on Sunday. For Bill Russell, our entire TBS Sports crew, this is Bob Neal from Chicago Stadium saying so long, everybody.